What is going on, everybody? Welcome to BobbyFi's 5 and 5. I'm going to talk about my 5 favorite plays in the slate. It's obviously subject to a lot of change because we have trades happening for guys who are in tonight's slate. So keep that in mind. I will be live at 6 Eastern here on TrueDFS. Please give us the like, the subscribe, all that stuff. We really appreciate it. And we are going to talk through it. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to try and do this. We're going to have this stuff done in the background. We're trying to improve all of our videos so we can actually post all the things that we're trying to say and get some production actually done. So it's going to be getting better and better. So just keep that in mind. And in the meantime, I'm going to share my screen and we are going to get to it. Right here, I am going to start this in the slideshow because I'm just getting familiar with it. So bear with me for a second, guys. Here we go. So here are the guys I'm targeting the most tonight as of right now. I think Dinwiddie's getting a little bit overlooked on both sides, and I think that he's a really, really strong play. You look at his season without Bradley Beal, it's basically been dominant except for when they've been blown out, and he had the two worst matchups in basketball basically for a point guard the last 2 times out, and they got smashed. So I am ready to go back to Dinwiddie today. I'm also ready to go back to Kuzma as a different play. I think you can use them together. I think you can try and get a little mini game stack there, but Dinwiddie will be a priority play for me on both sites. On DraftKings and FanDuel, also Alec Burks a priority for me on both sites as of right now, with the news to, Barrett being out. We do have Grimes in, and I think you can also make a pivot instead of Burks playing quickly or even Grimes, but I'm probably leaning towards more heavy Alec Burks. I don't think it's going to be anything unusual. What I do think is a little bit unusual is that I think I prefer Giannis over Luka tonight, and I think that's going to be against the grain. Giannis shows up for these games, man. Like he really does. And look, the last time he played this team, what did he have, 95 fantasy points or whatever? Let's go ahead and play Giannis here. I do love Luka as well. I have lineups with both of them, and you can see they're both priorities for me on FanDuel, whereas on DraftKings, it is going to be more Giannis for me probably. I don't mind if you want to run it back with Booker, but I do like Giannis quite a bit. He is my favorite spend up today, spend all the way up. And that brings me to my next guy, which is Pascal Siakam. I think he is a terrific play with no Van Vliet. I liked him with Van Vliet anyway, so he's a better play. Maybe that game stays a little bit closer. You can include all the guys from Toronto, get a huge boost, maybe even playing Banton on either side. He's really cheap. I think that's an interesting way to go. But I really like Siakam on DraftKings. On FanDuel, I'm sort of preferring to go with the Giannis Luka builds, but I don't mind if you want to go Siakam instead. I think he's a really strong play. I have Thomas Bryant on DraftKings right now because Montrezl Harrell literally just got traded. I don't know how many minutes they're going to be willing to give Bryant, but I'm willing to take a shot with no Harrell behind him against a team like Brooklyn on DraftKings. A little less interested on FanDuel, but still open to it. But I think Thomas Bryant is a really, really strong play, potentially. It wouldn't surprise me if he had 15 fantasy points. It wouldn't surprise me if he had 40. I mean, it's one of those kind of things, but at his price, depending on what other value opens up, I think he's a really interesting play on this slate, and he's a guy I definitely want to have exposure to on DraftKings. On FanDuel, the only real difference I had was Kyle Lowry. I think that, and I mentioned Luka as well, but I think he's just easier to get in on FanDuel. But Lowry at 5,400 is just a little too cheap in a game that should be fairly close, a good pace, bad defense. And I think we're going to start seeing some 40s out of Lowry soon. At 5,400, just a little too cheap for him. So those are my priority guys. I don't mind, again, you're going to find some Kuzma lineups with Dinwiddie. For me, I'll run it back with like KPJ or Şengün. I like a little bit of Reggie Jackson, Maxi Kleber on DraftKings, Julius Randle. These are the other names that I'm considering, but these are my top plays as of this moment, obviously subject to change. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the shows, and we are improving the site daily, so keep that in mind. And we are going to really, I think, over the next couple months, do some great stuff. And we appreciate you guys having been with us all the way. And let's make some money tonight, guys. Good luck, everybody.